Well, hello there. Glad to see you. Glad that you can make it. The story is getting exciting, though don't be surprised if there's some twists and turns that are going to be unexpected. We have quite a bit to go here. Quite a bit of pages to go through. Anyways, before we start, need something to drink. Vincent!
Yeah,
Vincent!
I'm coming. How am I going to get these Facebook posts done in time? Yeah. Okay, what's up, boss?
Yes. Vincent, thank you. Could you do me a favor? Could you get me some elven mead and cake? Thank you. Okay, so, where did we leave off? Somewhere in here. Oh, yes. We are going to start where Talon had just saved Baldwin's life. And he's letting him know that for whatever reason, Jurogomos are going to be seeking revenge. That's dangerous.
Coming for me?
Aye, that they will. And if I be taking a guess, it would be that of 2 or more Jurogormo.
2. 2 or more. Why? Why me?
You have to ask. As I have said, aren't connected, so a death of one of them is like a death to them all.
Okay, yes, but what I mean is, why continue this madness? Why keep coming after me? Especially if leaving their darkish hell means possibly death for them. Do they even die? They do die, right?
Aye, but in body only, as they serve the Dark Queen, so their essence returns to her, only to be devoured, or maybe to serve her later after many circles of the sun. Then, afterwards, they can then walk upon the plane, and then do their biddings.
Plane? Plane, what is that?
It is a word to describe their world, a word to describe many worlds actually, those that touch ours, whether above, below, or even on the side.
So, another word for hell?
Yes and no. There are many different layers and levels.
And there are planes, as you call them, on the side of our world? That doesn't make any sense.
Aye, those be their home of the fae. You know them are fairies, gnomes and such. Even the elves have their own plane to escape to. There their power is tenfold.
Baldwin looks to Talon with a myriad of expressions and emotions on his face.
What is it? What be troubling you?
Shaking his head, Baldwin replies,
I think this is too much. I'm just a farmer, a husband, a father to a young boy, soon to be a father of a daughter. There's no reason to go after me. These deaths were, if anything, just me protecting myself. And truth be told, that first creature I slew, that was just luck, considering how strong and fast they are.
Be that as it may, your life as a farmer is no more, at least for up to the coming months.
And why is that?
To prepare ye, to get you ready so that you can protect your family and yourself.
And how would I prepare, knowing I have a farm that needs tending, which puts food on the table?
I never said it would be easy.
You haven't said anything about what preparing is. I know not if it's setting traps, moving away, learning how to sleep with an eye open.
That last bit isn't actually hard to learn, but no moving. Traps, well, that's an interesting approach. We'll need to factor that in.
We? What is this we are talking about when you talk about being prepared?
Aye, me and you.
I get that, but the details, and why we?
Was because without me, you are going to die, along with your family.
As sobering as that statement was, it still didn't give any clue as to where Talon was going in this preparing.
Okay, let me ask again, what is this preparing that you're expecting me to do? Something that you're telling me that's going to, what was the words, save me and my family?
Training and defending yourself from the guile and strength of these creatures, some of which have been wandering the dark depths for hundreds of years. You need to know how they attack, how they deal with their poisonous claws, how to survive an attack so that your next strike is a death blow. Every creature, large or small, can be killed. Even demons and gods can be killed. Mind you, that may be out of the range of mere mortals like you, but still, you get the point.
I do. So you're telling me you're going to train me?
Talon nods.
Okay. But then the only other question I have is, why?
Because you have seen war, you're not afraid to swing a sword. And that's half the battle. It takes quite a bit of training to get someone to swing a sword, to kill, when they have never, ever killed before.
Know that I did not like it. The killing. It seemed so wasteful.
As ye shouldn't. If ye did, I think you wouldn't be with a woman of beauty and smarts. Men who like killing, are missing something inside. They aren't right in the head and heart. Mind ye that some of those same men live a normal life, sometimes protecting the likes of you and me in duty as knights and guardsmanship. While others, they're just plain bad, skulking in the dark alleys of Dai Wen, preying on the weak, if not some unsuspecting fool.
A moment passes between the two men as they sip their tea. Breaking the silence, Baldwin asks,
That can't be the only reason.
Nay, I trained ye as I feel there's a need to pass on knowledge of the dark depths. If they're becoming more bold to surface and to ply their evil ways, then we need to be prepared and fight back. And the more of us who can, the better.
Shaking his head, Baldwin says,
I'm just a farmer.
You were, or at least till today's end. Tomorrow, you train.
And who's to tend my farm? I can't ask Sylvia to do the work in the fields.
Rest easy, Baldwin. Being the namesake of the hamlet does come with its privileges. Suffice to say, you'll get the help needed for this farm. And let me be clear, I train you to protect your family, but also to protect those who can't protect themselves, especially from the growing evil that comes. Believe me, the hamlet knows not what lies ahead, so shock will prevail, and confusion will reign as they will not know what to do. But then there will be you there, a defender of this world against the darkness of the worlds below.
I do not know.
Relax, Baldwin. Training is until tomorrow at sunup, and the answers you seek as to why will come. Not right away, mind you, but will come. For now, go spend some time with your family. I myself will go get some things for our training. Till tomorrow, then.
And with that, Talon gulps the last of his tea, stands up, and starts heading towards the door.
What if I don't want this?
Talon pauses but for a moment before stepping out the door, and looking over his shoulder, he responds,
Then ye all die.
The next morning brings promises told. Talon is out in one of the low-cut fields sword practicing, while 3 young men from town are tending to the crops and barn animals. Baldwin isn't surprised seeing this, though the previous night, after Byron was in bed, Sylvia and him talked at length as to what all this meant. Neither could really understand the true breadth of the implications. They thought out many ideas as to why, not to mention what if Talon didn't show up, considering Baldwin's last question. In the end, there were more questions than answers, as well as an increase in worriedness. So, to quell their nerves, they took comfort in each other's arms, not falling asleep till a few hours before sunrise. Now, as Baldwin approaches Talon in the field, Talon says,
I see you brought the elven blade, though today as we start would be more of me getting a feel of your mantle, endurance, strength, and your wits. These will set the foundation forward in the months to come with your training.
Months?
And with that, Talon charges forward in a grapple takedown, which catches Baldwin completely by surprise, and he loses his breath as Talon's backward elbow connects with his gut. Such were the many days that followed, and that Baldwin found himself on the ground more times than not, with the occasional child laughter in the background, which of course made Baldwin react in ways that made even Sylvia laugh. Almost a full month of hard training, learning how to dodge, trip, grapple, toss, take a punch, and move, with in-between sessions of holding his breath in a bucket of water while sometimes being punched. He also had to pull the wagon loaded with hay on his own. And then lastly, he had to learn how to run, especially at a gait that would make him last for hours. The latter made the most impact as Baldwin could not hold his stomach in the beginning, yet Talon tirelessly pushed him on. Thus, by the end of the first month, both men could run to the hamlet Talon, to its center, to the well where everyone got their water, and then they would run back to the farm. With such progress, Talon made sure it was ingrained by keeping up the physical training and exercises for at least another 2 weeks into the second month. Then, after which, the skills of swordplay became part of the training. At this, Baldwin excelled. He had always done well in war using such. He felt it a natural extension of his body.
and with Talon's hardness in preparing him, his lighter frame and nimble self allowed many an unexpected parry to Talon's attack. Still, there was much to learn as there were so many stances, and each had their own purpose, whether to defend, attack, or other. And so, it was in the beginning of the 3rd month, the month of harvesting the 2nd crop of corn, that a visitor came to Baldwin's farm.
Papa! Papa!
As Baldwin turns to Byron's voice, Talon, using his parrying dagger, pushes the elven blade aside, and wielding the broadside of the druid blade, slaps against Baldwin's midsection.
Hey, not fair.
Aye, he is right, but then again, do evil creatures even play fair? You need to remember that those darklings will use every trick they have, including mimicking your son and wife crying out in pain. And once you react to it, you are done for.
Okay, fair enough.
Papa, he is here.
Who is here?
The man-elf.
Byron, do you mean Elrin?
Nodding with excitement, Byron turns and runs back to the house.
Well, it is lunchtime, so now is a good time as any to break and greet him.
Aye, been some time since he and I chatted. Would be good to catch up.
You know Elrin? And Tana?
Aye, that I do. Who do you think showed me the way of the ranger?
Giving a look of surprise, all Baldwin can do is, for an answer. Then, as they start towards the house, sheathing their blade, a thought comes to Baldwin.
Talon, if I may, can I ask how old you are?
Okay, how old do you think I am, Baldwin? And answer truthfully.
Well, given what you have told me of your skills, along with the hints of your experience, dealing with the Juragomo, I guess I can only guess you're older than me, obviously, but, 55? Mind you, you don't look older than me.
Interesting assessment. Aye, I am older than you. Much older.
Neither of them say a word as they approach the back of the house.
Well?
As they continue walking, turning the corner to the front porch, Talon finally says,
85.
What the?
Elrin, ye old dog, how you doing?
Rather well. There is surprise. Then again, I suppose I shouldn't be. Where there's evil to contend with, there you are. And not looking too bad either for a human.
Laughing, Talon gives Elrin a warm hug.
Good to see you, ye old friend.
And you as well.
Baldwin just stares at the two of them. First at Elrin, then at Talon.
Baldwin, are you okay? You look as if you drank some bad cow's milk. He said 85.
Elrin looks to Talon, who simply shrugs.
Talon told me he is 85 years old, but he doesn't even look older than me. 85? You sure? I thought you were at 87 come this winter's moon.
Yeah, 85 or 87. Who keeps track?
Still, it is good that you're here, old friend, as we need you. Who needs Talon's help? You do. Okay, well, yes, but who else do you think's been training me for the last 3 months?
Elrin looks to Talon.
Ye know the Juragomo. Ye know the ones that serve him. In this they will not let go. They will seek to finish it, even if it takes them to the last of their kind.
I'd wish it was the last of them, but sadly it is not. And yes, they mean to seek vengeance, which is why I am here.
Hi, Elrin.
Hello, little one. Have you been good? What have you been doing since I've been away?
Oh, yes. I've been helping Mama around the barn and learning how to be a ranger.
Elrin raises an eyebrow to Talon.
Well, that does seem very big of you. Guess you are growing up very fast.
Did you hear that, Papa?
Aye.
Reaching into his saddlebag, Elrin pulls out a cloth bundle. Bending down to Byron, he hands it to him, saying,
This was made by elven hands. Can you take good care of it for your father?
Opening up the cloth, Byron's eyes bulge as he holds a carved horse made of the blackest wood, with details so striking one would think its eyes were following you when you turn the horse one way and the other.
Wow. Papa, can I play with it? Can I?
Aye, but be careful with it. A lot of care went to making that, so try not to drop it or break it, okay?
I won't.
And off into the field Byron runs, making horse noises.
Where is Tana?
Standing back up and smiling at Sylvia, Elrin says,
Tana is coming. She is looking forward to seeing the baby in you.
Giving a peck on Elrin's cheek, Sylvia replies,
Good. Women need to catch up just like men do.
Then, going over to Baldwin, giving him a kiss on his cheek, she says,
I will have lunch ready in quarter movement.
After Silvio goes back into the house, Baldwin motions for the three of them to move away from the porch, but to still stay in view of Byron playing out in the field.
Why are you here, Elrin? And don't get me wrong, it is good to see you, and I'm looking forward to seeing Tana, but there is a reason, yes? Yes. Rather I thought. Well, when we left 2 months ago, we headed back to our village to talk to the elders. We told them what had transpired, which they in turn talked amongst themselves. Eventually, Tana and I were called back to the council, and then we were charged with seeing if the darkness was becoming more unsettled. So off we went, north, traveling deep into the forbidden forest, looking for trails, some leading nowhere, while others led us toward the upper domain. We continued inward. We spent weeks searching out. Too many caverns, too many caves to count, till one moonless night as we camped out, there came a dark elf from inside one of them. Silent we were, and hiding we did, as they see better in the dark than us. Luckily it did not see us, and ventured out south. We stayed there, 2 days before it came back, and then we waited one more day to ensure it was deep in the cave. Then, as quiet as we could, we'd ventured in. And if it was not for Tana's magic, we wouldn't have found our way out. Regardless, we were underground for almost 2 days before we found the Dark Elves' tracks, and it wasn't long afterwards till we ventured into their outskirts of their underground domain. It was a sight to behold. It was vast, with its own natural light from crystals in the rock. But the scariest part was yet to come, for as we had hid behind a large rock outcrop, dark elves by the dozen started to gather around us. We could not make out what they were saying, but you could feel the energy in the air. They were preparing for something, and, before Tana and I could guess, there came from a hole not far from the center of the gathering. Not one Jurgormo, but 3. All the dark elves fell to their knees as they approached, and silence followed for some moments before we heard anything coming from below. And what we did hear was the following. A Jurgormo asking, "Where is Talon?"
All right. Okay, well, I'm going to have to stop right there. I, as usual, have appointments to keep, people to meet, things to do. But rest assured, you come back and we'll continue with the next chapter. Exciting, isn't it? Until then, you be safe.